good afternoon, good evening to you all, depending on where about in the world you are. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Be Intentional, and you're welcome to Be Intentional. I am Cheska, and thank you for taking time out of this busy world to join me today. Thank you, cheerleaders. Thank you, supporters. Thank you all for the boost. I'm sure some of you may have found my poster, my advertisement on Facebook, and those of you who know me are wondering, oh, is she coming out with an album? No, Cheska is not singing this time. Cheska is talking. So thank you all for your attention. I really appreciate it, and most importantly, I appreciate the time you are spending to watch this video. Be intentional about everything in life. Now, what is be intentional? What is it that is coming to you soon? Be intentional. Well, I found something very interesting recently, and it was about competitive swimmers or competitive swimming. And one essential step that I found that swimmers engage in before they enter into a competition is that they shave off the hair on their body. And apparently, this results in hypersensitivity to the water. It reduces drag, and it removes anything that causes excessive drag or resistance in the water. So this is what competitive swimmers do before they engage in a competition. Not many scientific work has been done to explain why it works. And some people actually believe that it's just a superstition or just a ritual of a sort. However, many have argued that somehow, some way, even if the shaving doesn't help reduce the drag, it gives the swimmers a psychological boost, because the swimmers then feel invigorated in the water after shaving off their hair. And this kind of mentally prepares them. It prepares them and helps with the performance by making them go faster in the water. I remember when I heard this, and I read about it as well, so honestly, I found it very interesting when I first came across it, and I found it hard to believe that something as menial as arm or leg hair could actually slow you down in water, and could actually mean the difference between winning a gold medal or going home empty-handed. That's how much it means. This actually inspired me to bring up the theme Be Intentional, or the program Be Intentional, because I thought that these swimmers are not only in a competition, just in a competition to win, but they are being intentional and willing to do drastic things just to achieve that. You and I would agree that our world today is full of options. We're faced with dozens of choices that we have to make every day. Some are very little, some are big. It ranges from deciding if you want to have a bowl of salad for lunch, or where you want to take your child to school, which school you want your child to attend, how far you want your child to go to, what you want to invest in life. And that's where Be Intentional comes in. It's about being intentional in everything you do on a daily basis. Be intentional involves you taking responsibility and ownership of what you say, of what you do, of your thoughts, conscious and unconscious thoughts. Whatever you do, how do you decide to show up in a specific situation, how you decide to contribute to a situation, what you decide to do with a situation. This is Be Intentional. Being intentional is acknowledging the fact that your attitudes, your feelings, your actions and inactions have got direct impact on everything that goes on in your life as well as your future. Being intentional is being willing to come out of that comfort zone, and embracing that comfort zone consciously or unconsciously, and making sure that you're focusing on that goal that you want to achieve. So this is being intentional. I mean, to be fair, sometimes it's just easier to go with the flow and let things happen and not think about the options that are there for you. But I do realize these days that, I don't know, if life is short, or pardon me, life can be short, or life is becoming short, but you hear that somebody is there today and the next day the person is gone. And I'm thinking, I'm going to that point where I want to make an impact. What I say has to matter. It has to be important. What I do must have an effect, and it has to be a positive effect. I need to intend to have a positive effect on somebody. I need to be intentional about what I'm saying. It may not be what I believe in, but for the sake of the effect or the result I want to achieve, So that is be intentional for you, for those of you wondering. So hey people, welcome on board to my channel, Be Intentional. Be intentional about everything in life. On Be Intentional, you and I are going to be intentional in making thoughtful choices in our lives. We're going to learn to intentionally choose to respond to things instead of reacting. We're going to choose to love instead of living in fear. We're going to choose to embrace that life out of the comfort zone. And we're going to talk about loads of things here, various topics. I mean, some topics will not be discussed in certain circles, but you and I are going to have that discussion on this channel. And so, yes, you're welcome to be on board, and I'm very privileged to have you watching me and have you contribute to these discussions that are going to take place on here. So, is it simple to be intentional? Yes, it is very much simple, but rarely easy. But the question you should be asking is it worth it? You get to decide that. So come on now, watch out for our first topic, which is on grief. How do you support someone who is grieving a loss? What do you say to that person? And most importantly, what not to say? The funny thing is, the what not to says are the ones we say all the time. And people are grieving in this world. Loads of people are grieving. We're surrounded by loads of people who are grieving. People are committing suicide because of a loss of a loved one. People are depressed because they lost a loved one. People's perceptions about life has changed because they lost a loved one. And you and I are there to support these people. What do we say to them? How do we support them? What do we not have to say? Stay connected and I'll be right back. We're going to talk about that. But in the meantime, think about this. Does God really give and take away? I hear that a lot. Is that true? You tell me. We will find that out in the next video. Love you all, and thank you once again for joining me. Bye-bye. Intentional about everything in life.